Yo, what's up friends? Welcome back to my YouTube channel and thank you for checking in today. And woo, do I have a video I'm excited for today. Tonight we're gonna be completely talking about a specific app that you can use on your smartphone to really make your pictures pop and really get some cool edits in that you'd have to do through your computer. The app is Enlight Photofox. You may have heard just of Enlight. It's the little fox icon that was featured, I believe, a few years back on the Apple App Store as one of the apps of the year. And that is a great editor, but Photofox takes it to the next level so you can really edit your pictures on the go. I think it is the best photo editor for a smartphone. Let's say you're on the road, you don't have your computer on you, perfect. You just pull this out if you're in the subway, in a cab, whatever you need, and you can just go ahead, edit your pictures. You can trim them, you can cut them out, crop them. There's so many things you can do. It's almost limitless, and it's so close to what a Photoshop would be for the phone. So what we're gonna do tonight is we're gonna look into some of the features of it and how you can make your photos looking from just basic to something that really pops. All right, so let's go ahead and let's jump up the app. If you don't have it yet, download it. It is an app that you do have to pay a monthly subscription, or you can do a one-time fee of like $60 or so, but they do have a 3-month trial. So I recommend doing that for the full features and the full benefits. Great, so now that you're in the app, you're gonna see that you're just gonna have that checkered background, but on the top right, there's a little plus sign. And by clicking that, we can go ahead and add either a transparent layer or a photo. For here, we're gonna select on photo, and it brings us over to what photos we can add. And on the bottom, you can see there's an option for photos, which will bring up everything in your camera roll. Photofox will actually give you a bunch of stock pictures that you can use absolutely for free. As you saw in the thumbnail, I have a couple that I've selected. We're gonna do the bridge, that's the one on the left with the little moon. So now what we can do is we use 2 fingers, and we're gonna kind of pull it out to frame so that it fits in our space. Let's go ahead and we're gonna do the plus sign again, do photo, because now we want to add a second layer, and that's when we're going to type in phone up here at the top right, do search, and we're going to show this phone icon on the right hand side and on the bottom, which is the white phone in the hand and the black background. That's going to be pretty easy to manipulate. So again, we have that layer selected, pull 2 fingers to make it bigger, and then we fill in that space. So now on the top right, you can see that we have different layers, but obviously the phone's taking over all the layer space. If you hold down your finger on it, you can kind of manipulate and move it underneath the background that we're gonna be having with the moon, and that takes it to the foreground. So let's go ahead and let's move the phone back up in front of the moon. So now what we want to do is we want to isolate our object there. This is the feature I love the most about this, is since there's no pen tool that you really can use in this, if you go on the very bottom, then that little kind of purple toolbar, that's the layers tools, and by pressing the left one, eraser, what we can do is we can just kind of drag our finger over the image, and we can just start erasing that black background, which is fantastic. And the absolute coolest feature is that just by moving it over, if we just drag our finger straight down here, it's already getting rid of just the black, but keeping the fingers in the phone, because it's just manipulating that black color. So go ahead, let's get rid of that entire black background just by using your finger and dragging that around. Great, so that looks pretty good. We have most of that gone, but there's still those awkward black botches that are kind of close in between the fingers over on the left. So by taking 2 fingers, what we're gonna do is we're gonna zoom in, and what we can even do is we can zoom all the way in to the pixel level and see the individual colored pixels, and then just use our finger here and get rid of all of that. So let's go ahead and do that for the rest of the black that's on this. Great, now we'll zoom out, and we can see it doesn't really need to be perfect because those little extra black parts just kind of look like a shadow. But there we go. That's exactly what we do. We isolated the images and the parts that we want. But now it just looks like a hand that's been placed over a background. What we're gonna do now is to kind of make it look more real, we're gonna go ahead and take the black from the phone. We're gonna erase all of that. Great, that's been erased, and that already looks pretty cool. It looks a little bit more like a phone taking a picture, but that's where we just want to start. And from here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and press the confirm button, a little top check mark on the top right, to finalize the edits that we did on that layer. But what we want to do now is we're going to want to position the top layer, the phone and the hand, so that it kind of looks like we can get it so the bridge will be coming out a little bit more. So going down to the layers toolbar, we can see that next to the eraser and a few over, we have the option to transform. Go ahead and click on that, and you're going to see these kind of purple little dots appear. And from here, if you drag them around, you can really manipulate the image. So by doing transform, we're going to go ahead and select our layer, and then we're going to kind of adjust it with 2 fingers, make it bigger or smaller, pinching and zooming, so we can get it kind of lined up to a place where we want it. And I think that looks just like that. that looks pretty neat. So we're gonna tap to confirm, and there you go. So now we have a larger image, but it just looks like the phone's kind of been brought just closer to the subject. So now we're gonna go back to our little handy dandy eraser tool. We're gonna zoom in, and we're gonna go ahead and start erasing this part of the phone that's overlapping the bridge. Now this is where it gets really important. Since there is no pen tool, you're just taking your time and going slowly over this to make sure you're manipulating those lines as straight as you want. Because if you have really kind of sloppy lines, it's not gonna look quite as convincing. So by zooming out, we can see that already looks cool on the left. We can see the fingers are coming through the bridge, it's kind of on the corner, and then looks like the phone's going under. So the left half of the bridge is coming out. Now if we go over to the right, we can go ahead and get rid of the rest of this. And what I love about the mobility of this, since you're on a smartphone, you can kind of position the phone in your hand how you want to. You can turn it into landscape mode, keep it in portrait at a diagonal. That way you can really just use your finger and do a little brush stroke on this to get those layers and to get them to be as straight as you can. And what I recommend doing here is, let's say that you do a whole bunch, but then you accidentally manipulate what you don't want to. If you do the back button, it gets rid of everything you just did. So by taking your time and just doing a little solid single swipes over here. So let's go ahead and get these lines as straight as we can. And you always can zoom out if you need to kind of take a look and see what it looks like. Hey, I think that looks pretty cool. Now by pulling it all the way out, we can see that, wow, that bridge is straight coming out of the phone, which is exactly what we want. But it's still not quite as convincing because we have those pillars that go along there. Let's confirm this by pressing the top right. And now, again, on the layers toolbar, there's the option for opacity. So we're gonna select the hand from the layers on the top right, select opacity, and now on the top left, the very top, we have a purple bar. And by taking your finger and sliding to the left, we can see that bar kind of going down, and we're kind of ghosting out that image, making it less and less clear. And so now we can really see the under layers of the bridge. We're gonna go to the eraser, handy dandy. We're gonna scroll in, and we're gonna go ahead and take our finger and get rid the hand that would be covering up over little supports here. And this is where it can get tricky. Taking your time, again, as always, and especially on the corners. Photofox is great that if you just run your finger straight, manipulates the lines. But when you get corners, you gotta take your time, especially if they're uneven ones, kind of like this. Once you have that, zoom out, confirm that, and now let's take opacity and let's slide it all the way up. And cool, that looks sweet. It looks like the hand really is coming up under the bridge and the dock are really coming straight at us. Let's kind of do a little bit more to make it our own. So by going down to the very bottom toolbar, the one in the middle with the little with the wrench and the screwdriver, we can select light effects, which is on the right hand side, the fifth one over. Do light effects. Now there's a bunch we can choose from here, but we slide over, we do ES6, and now we have that circle, and if you're taking your finger and move it around, you can see we're adjusting a light on the layer that we've selected, and which is super neat that we're just selecting that one layer with these really cool lights. And it's cool if you put it like over the phone, creating that natural glare. This is something that I don't think you really can even do as easily in Photoshop or Lightroom. So it's super fun using this as a tool for that. But that's not the layer we want. So we're gonna do the X at the top left. We're gonna select our bottom layer for the background and now go down to the bottom again and do light effects. Again, select ES6. We can zoom out by pinching the zoom in, make it smaller, but we're gonna make it and we're gonna put it right behind the moon. So it kind of looks like there's a sun kind of radiate out from that. And by clicking, we can confirm that on the top right and click away. And on the top right, just doing the layers, the click away are layer options. And that's it. That's all you had to do in order to manipulate just two stock photos, add a little bit of flair to make it look like the bridge is coming out. There is so many more possibilities that you can do with this app. This is just something super basic I wanted to show. You can do up to 5 layers on this, and you can add different effects. There's so many things you can add it. I pair it very much with Enlight. You can add it with a really cool filter or add a frame to it, like how I did in the thumbnail, to really kind of manipulate the colors in there and kind of use it as a Lightroom. And then once you're done with the photo, you can go on the top with the little exports with the arrow pointing up, and you can save it to your camera roll or export it to your favorite social media site or wherever you want it to go. All right, friends, that's it. That's how you can really start manipulating photos using your iPhone, especially with Photofox having a free version and then a 90-day free trial for all of the features. Definitely is something I highly recommend for anyone that wants to edit photos just a little bit. It is such a time consumer. Instead of playing a game, you can learn how to edit photos, and it's super easy. It's so addicting. And definitely keep on checking back because I'm going to have a lot more of these tutorials and how to kind of do more advanced stuff on here. And go ahead, if you end up downloading Photofox and making something, tag me in your Instagram posts, your Twitter. Let me know what you're making because I definitely want to check it out. I want to see what you guys are making as well. So as always, friends, thank you so much for checking in this evening. Don't forget to like, dislike, comment, subscribe. This is as much your channel as it is mine. As always, everyone, I will see you in the next one. Peace. you.